Hello, friends from the manga world. My name is G,
And I'm Hector.
and we're here to talk about the July 2024, uh, the month of July
Eh,
2024 manga, like new releases. And why am I like this today?
I don't know.
Anyway,
You were doing so great.
I was so confident going into this.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, how we normally do this is we go over our picks for the month of July, and then we actually have like box sets to highlight for you this month, which is really nice. And we'll go over some new volume ones that you should take a look at, and some standalones as well. And we'll leave you with the rest of the list so you can continue on and see what else to pick up for this month. And yeah, if you see any repeat titles, I mean that's it goes. I mean those things happen because of perhaps delays or just decided to push back some. Like it just depends on the production schedule and so forth. So you might see that come up here. And we are on social media at PRH International Comics. So check us out on Twitter X, Instagram, and
Facebook
Facebook.
and YouTube.
Like,
Yeah.
and YouTube, of course, on this channel. And yeah, comment down below on what you'd be interested in picking up for this month. And we'll go ahead
Yes.
get started before I mess up. Yeah.
All right. So first is one of my picks. This is Captain Momo's Secret Base Volume 1. This is story and art by Kenji Suruta. From Dark Horse. We talked about this when the announcement came out, and I think we might have put it in an FOC title. I mean, I think we're really looking forward to this, and there's been a lot of talk about this. There was a lot of talk when it was actually announced because it's such a big thing and when it originally came out in Japan. So this is a new manga from the creator of Emanon and Wandering Island, and this is Moshi Moshi Momo, which I love the name, works from home like many people. And she lives in a den crowded with books and papers and shared with a cat that's got its own agenda. So it sounds very like a lot of people nowadays can relate to the story, except that she lives in the space. She's in a office in a space station in space. So her Zoom meetings, it could take 30 minutes to get an answer when she asks a question over a Zoom meeting. So this is just very cool. I think it's going to be one of those very cool sort of kind of slice of life, but it's going to be on a day of what it would be if you were by yourself in space, working from there, and dealing with a cat and sort of kind of trying to the days go by a little bit faster. And of course, and then also I should say, so this is adult and it's wrapped because uh Momo likes to, like many people who work from work, not wear clothes when she's around, because she's by herself. So, like many people, not me, just so you know, I am wearing pants right now, just in case you were wondering. Um, and so this is coming up, and like I said, there's a lot of expectations for this to come out in English finally. So we are very excited for this to come out in July. Yes.
All right, so my pick is Just Like Mona Lisa. This is volume one. So this is a world where people are born without a gender. So when children's body shift, they get to like fulfill whatever like desired gender that they most identify with when they reach like around 12 years old. But then we have the main character who is now going into their 18th spring, and they live contently without a gender. But all of a sudden, they have Ritsu, who is a bubbly girl, and Shuri, who is this like thoughtful boy, both of whom confess their feelings on the same day. And then romance is now being complicated in the main character's mind. How can they respond? And they must sort of like look internally to explore their identity as they're arriving into the cusp of adulthood. And so, very interesting concept with this one. So I thought it was so unique that I wanted to highlight it for, especially for this month.
Yes, very cool.
Mhm.
And next up is Lunar Life in Another World light novel, Volume 9, by Shoji Goji, illustrated by Saku Enomaru. And there's also the manga coming out at the Volume 9 of the manga, also coming out at the same time, which is on the next slide. This I especially wanted to highlight this. Well, first of all, because I'm a big fan of isekais, as everybody in this channel should know by now, and Dee definitely knows because I mention it all the time. But also, and this is a fun one, but also the anime is scheduled to come out in October of this year. So keep an eye out for this one. And this one in the story is, your typical this is the classroom, the whole classroom being summoned as heroes into another world. And when they get there, they are going to be given, the god is going to give them each a special ability and a special skill, but they have to line up and like it's first come, first serve. And Haruka is this loner in the classroom who's always by himself, who's always late. So obviously he's the last one in line. Just like when in the playground, he's the last to be picked. So when he gets there, there's not much left. There's actually an ability, a skill called loner, and a lot of other trashy, like not really good skills at all. So the god said, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to give you the leftovers. So he decides, you know what? I'm going to continue my life as a loner. I'm just going to not get involved. I'm going to live by myself. I have all these really dumb skills. I'm going to be okay with them. But then, of course, there's trouble and his classmates get into a lot of trouble and he can't help himself. He has to starts helping, and he finds very interesting ways to use the skills he was given and combine them. And of course, there's going to be a lot of humor and a lot of funny ways where he ends up using these skills, and they actually. Of course, he becomes overpowered by them. So, very, very cool. Like I said, light novel and manga, all both available at the same time. And the anime it's coming up. This is for, like I said, fans of isekai, humor, satire, that kind of thing. Yep, that's it.
Oh, yes. And then next up we have Me, a Man and His Cat picture book.
Mm.
So very fun manga series, A Man and His Cats. Very wholesome, very cute, very loving. And we have this picture book, which I'm so excited, especially when it was first announced back when.
Mm-hmm.
So one evening, Mr. Kanada and his cat, Fukumaru, wished on a shooting star. But what's weird is the star is getting closer. I love the representative of that premise on this cover.
Yeah.
When the cat starts chasing the star into the woods, he meets some friends from space. Friends question mark. So can one true happiness repair the power of the alien kitty ship that has crash landed? Can Fukumaru share his joy with the galactic felines to help make it back home for them? So really cute picture book to look forward to. I'm glad that they're doing this, and yeah.
Yep. And of course, Dinos, I need to correct something. We don't actually have the manga for Loner Life. I'm sorry, I was confused. We do have the light novel and the manga for A Tale of a Secret Saint. That's the one that, well, we have both of them at the same time. But Loner Life, yes, the anime is coming in October. So Next is A Tale of a Secret Saint light novel, volume 6. And we also have a manga. This is by Tuya and illustrated by Chibi. And this one, we do have the manga in the next slide. Sorry about that. You could have corrected me, G, by the way. It's fine.
I
I
wasn't
would have been okay
sure.
with
You doubted me.
it. I made you doubt. So I'm completely lost now about what I wanted to say about this. Yes. So this is the story of I'm just going to read it. Born into a long line of knights, Fia is determined to become a knight herself, just like all her siblings. But a brush with death awakens memories of her past life as a saint, a woman who wields rare, powerful healing and protection magic, along with the ability to use that magic herself. The downside is that Fia also remembers her past life ultimately untimely death and the danger she will be in if anyone finds out what she really is. She vows to stay on her knighthood path and keep her powers a secret forever. But how can she resist using her newfound powers when they're just so useful? This is very similar to a lot of other stories that we're seeing later recently. We have a couple of the villains one that sound kind of similar, like this sort of, reverse harem situation, but also uh, she's trying to avoid her death because she remembers his death and what's going to happen. So she's trying to change the story. So very fun, very cool, just and funny. And like I said, we have both the light novel and the manga coming up. And this is volume one, but we are actually, I did send you the wrong ISBN for this. It's actually like volume six is also coming out at the same time. Sorry about that. That's why this one says November. In July, we will have volume six of the manga too. Next up.
Next up, we have Riku Can't Be a Goddess. This is the light novel by Kumi Tamaru. And this one, I just love the cover, the way that the lipstick is just being smeared
Yeah.
across the face. It's really telling because the main character is Ichika, and her big secret is that she has a crush on her childhood friend. And her crush is going through some like an identity like exploration, but instead like I guess kind of fearful of going through that on their own body. And so as the best friend Ichika is, allows him to explore his interest in cross-dressing by like dressing her up so she sort of acts like a mannequin in a way, like a canvas that like they're able to explore like fashion and clothing and like makeup and all of that on like on Ichika. And so it gets messy because she does have a crush on her friend, and then like when that boundary is crossed and a kiss happens, things get a bit complicated with their relationship between each other. And so this actually includes like that's like one of the main stories here, but it's a collection of four gripping stories. And the theme around that is like high schoolers going through whether or not it's trying to figure out what their identity is trying to go through acceptance of who they are. So it's like very like deep and like gets at your heart type of collection, type of story, light novel. So yes, really cool coming out of Seven Seas here.
Yep. Very cool. And we continue with box sets. We have two this month. We have Fire Force manga box set one. It includes volume 1 to 6. This is obviously the hit manga and also hit anime. So what better way to, go back and catch up with it when I'm with the box set of the first 6 volumes. And also Hitorijime, My Hero manga box set, also a hit manga. We have volume 1 through 6 also here, and this is by Mimeko Ari. Ari.
Mhm. And then next up, we'll go through some volume ones, but the first title is more like a
Yeah.
it's all encompassing standalone in a way. So
Yeah.
this is H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness. This is the deluxe edition. So the way in which, if you're all familiar with how Dark Horse does their like deluxe editions, like with Berserk, Hellsing, etc. So it's like this leather, really premium, really nice edition. In this case, the wraparound cover art will be like on full display on this edition. I'll have
Yeah.
silver inking, foil gilding, and satin ribbon. You know it's great for the
It's gonna be
ribbon in
amazing.
there.
Yeah.
So really cool. So this is Tanabe's adaptation of Lovecraft's classic collected here. So really cool, really beautiful, and we'll have to show it off once we get
It's
it.
available. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have to continue.
You
I'm like,
continue.
nope,
It's you.
I'm done. So continuing on, this is I'll Never Be Your Crown Princess Betrothed. This is the manga, so this is a sequel series. And this one we have noblewoman Liddy, who has a new bodyguard.
Hmm.
But will his presence actually help her or be a hindrance? Is it doing more harm than good? And then we have Nas and Sakura Volume 1. I did talk about this before. It was one of my favorite picks. That's why I didn't pick it again. But this is something I'm also interested in. So this is Shadowsville, supernatural land that exists between like it's like on the brink of like the supernatural basically, and we have the lives of these spooky vampires, but they're not that spooky as you could see because they're sipping on
Yeah.
juice boxes to sustain themselves, like alternative to blood. And it's just a delightful supernatural comedy about a mother-daughter vampire pair, which is really cute. And then we have Peerless. This is Wushang Volume 1. And this is a Danmei boys love novel, originally released in China, but now coming out in English for the first time. It's set in the same universe as the popular novel, but also animated series called Thousand Autumns. So this is a historical wuxia tale where two rival investigators, I love the premise here. Two rival investigators are trying to get to the bottom of a mystery, but it's complicated because they have feelings.
Of course.
Of course, in a Danmei. Yeah, and then we'll continue on further
Yeah.
here.
And we continue with volume ones. And the next one is Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me, Manga Volume 1. And this is adapted from the critically acclaimed light novel series Return from Death. I kicked the bucket and now I'm back at square one with a boyfriend who doesn't remember me. And then Oriana, a 17-year-old magic student, suddenly dies alongside her boyfriend Vincent. However, she returns from death. Can she make Vincent fall in love with her again and avoid the death that started this mysterious time loop? We'll see. You have to read to know, to find out. And then we have Soul Eater, Not the Perfect Edition, number 1. This is a hardcover collected edition. Experience the fun-filled, action-packed spin-off to Atushi Okubo's global hit with this all new deluxe collector's edition. Each deluxe includes the content of approximately 1.5 original volumes, the original color pages from the manga's Japanese series serialization, an updated translation and lettering, brand new cover art drawn by creator Atsushi Okubo himself. Very, very cool. And then we finish off the number ones with Throwaway, the suit together, volume one, and in this Yuri girls love romance, two college girls under too much pressure, filled with expectations like getting into college and job hunting, they take life into their own hands and leave the city to run away to an island together. They soon learn that island living isn't all blue skies and sunny days. And yet, whatever the future holds, they will face it together. Very, very
Mhm.
cool.
All right, and that concludes our highlights for July 2024. But stick around because there is the rest of the list of continuing volumes that you should take a look at. So we'll exit the screen here, but continue on further to this video. And also, again, check us out on social media at Peerage International Comics. Post below on what you're looking forward to as well. So, bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.